One of the most frequently asked questions we get here at Hearing Direct is with regards to our range of corded phones or amplified or big button or loud or phones with extra volume, but effectively the phones that are very traditional desk phones with a receiver handset that you lift. And one of the big questions we get is how to choose between the vast array of phones that appear to be out there. And so I thought I'd take some time to explain some of the basic differences between the manufacturers and the types of models and features that you can expect within these phones. And then hopefully that will make a more informed choice whether you're buying the phone for yourself or indeed, as is often the case, buying for an elderly relative or friend. So looking at the phones that we see here, these are a few examples of the types of phones that we have available here at Hearing Direct. If we take this phone here, for example, this is made by a manufacturer called G-Mark and it's their Amplifier 50 model. This is one of the loudest, if not the loudest, phones in production. It has an extremely loud ringer and also a very loud voice amplification or voice volume for the person to listen to the person calling them at the other end. Undoubtedly one of our most popular phones. It is one of a series. They all have the same design with the large buttons, the very easy ergonomically designed handset, the visual ring indicator that's down here, and the speed dial buttons here that are up here. And one of the popular features here is this sliding aspect of the volume and tone control. And once set, they don't need to be moved. But this shell, if you like, or this design is available at various power levels down through the range. So the next one down from this is called the Amplifier 40, and then the next one down is actually called the CL100. And they all have a very similar design and look and feel in terms of simplicity and large buttons, etc. But as you go up the range, the price does increase, but then so does the volume that the phone is able to operate at. And then similarly over here by a different manufacturer, this one is G-Mark, this one is Amplicoms, which is a German manufacturer. This shell here is also used again through a series of phones. This one here is the PowerTel 30. As you can see here, one of the advantages it has over this one here, this range, is this facility here of caller ID, this digital display. And this is a series of phones again, the PowerTel 30, the PowerTel 49, and the PowerTel 60. The PowerTel 60 being again the same design but of similar levels of amplification, the loudest phone that we do in the Amplicoms range. But they all share this same feature set with the large buttons with a backlit display. Most of the louder phones as you go through the range will require their own power socket to provide the extra levels of amplification. But some of the phones have the advantage of not needing power sockets. So for those that don't have a power socket next to the telephone socket, then you should look for the phones that are line powered or phones that don't require their own power output. Interestingly enough, we'll come on to talk about it, but this model doesn't require its own power, and in fact this one, the PowerTel 30, the lowest level amplification in the Amplicoms range, this one doesn't require its own power either, it's line powered, but does have the facility of caller identification. The G-Mark range has the Amplifier 50, which is this one here, the loudest phone. Then there's the Amplifier 40 and the CL100. Choosing between them is primarily about volume of voice and volume of ring. And then similarly the Amplicoms, the PowerTel range, the 30, the PowerTel 49, the PowerTel 60. Again, you would choose them according to the maximum levels of volume and ringer. But choosing between the series is going to be about things like caller ID, whether that's important, and call quality as well. Although I have to say one of our most favourites is the Amplifier 50. This is a great phone. The carcass of the phone or the main design of the phone, no matter which you choose, this is a great phone for somebody that is either elderly or that has limited dexterity, because the handset is easier to hold and lift, and the numbers are quite a bit larger than you see here. This, however, this series is a great series for those that don't have some of the issues that may be the case here, and that want something that definitely gives good quality of volume and call quality, and has perhaps a slightly more contemporary design, and therefore is not so much about the perhaps limited visual dexterity visual capabilities or manual dexterity, but somebody that still needs the volume but is quite comfortable with regards to vision and their ability to pick up and use and lift the handset. In addition to these here, both of these manufacturers, Amplicoms and Gmark, they do also have a variety of phones that don't sit in this same physical design, but that feature things like answer machines and other features that people might choose to have. They have a slightly different design, and in the case of Amplicoms, they have something called the PowerTel 68, which has an answer machine built into this section here, but doesn't have caller ID, but it does have something similar to this feature that's here that we'll talk about in a minute, which are these photo buttons. It does have those up here. And that's a great phone to use if you are looking for something with an answer machine and a simple to use equivalent. They also do in the Amplicoms range something called the PowerTel 58, and that phone is really good for use in the office environment. It is designed to fit into an office switching system, but still has good levels of amplification above a standard office phone. And then again on the Gmark side of things, they also have a number of their telephones that are designed to have additional features, like for example the answer machine, and that is available in, say, the Photophone 155 from Gmark, or the 455 for that matter. And the 455 is a very similar design again here, but also has the advantage of a lifting screen that's here and has the cool caller ID and several other features, including the answer machine. Then just looking at this design of phone, this is sort of takes some of the benefits that you have here, but also incorporates these photo buttons here, which are a great feature. A lot of people like those, and they're good, particularly good if you are looking to get a telephone for somebody that maybe has early stages of dementia, or you're concerned about their ability to remember numbers or indeed dial numbers quickly in the cases of an emergency. Then this phone is great. You have an SOS button here which can be pre-programmed to anybody that you might want to call first from an emergency point of view, and these photos can then be used for the individuals for who the number underneath exists as the speed dial. So these kind of photo phones, again, these come in a range from Gmark. This is the Photophone 100, which is their basic photo phone option, but they also do something called the Photophone 155, which is a bigger version of this with caller ID and also an answer machine. And they also do something called the 355, which is interesting that the Amplicoms also have their equivalent as well. And these are combination sets which take a desk phone, which plugs into your telephone socket at home and power socket, and then you can use a cordless handset anywhere else in the property that will pair to the desk phone and doesn't require its own telephone socket. And in the case of Gmark, they have the 355 Combi, which is a similar phone to this, but also then has a cordless phone that can be put anywhere else in the property. And in the case of Amplicoms, they have two of those. They have one of the slightly more affordable, which is the BigTel 480 combo, and then they have their top of the range, which is their PowerTel 880 combo. And again, that is, both of those are designed to have a base unit, which is a desk phone, placed where the telephone socket is, and then a remote cordless handset that can be placed anywhere else in the property. But in summary, if you look at the corded phones that we do, the desk phones that we do, if you're looking for something that is really simple to use, very basic in its form, and easy to dial and easy to pick up and use, then this would be the range to go for. Amplipower 50, the Amplipower 40 or the CL100. And if you're looking for a really good, cool quality, loud phone with caller ID, then this phone would be the one to go for, or its series, the PowerTel 30, PowerTel 49, or the PowerTel 60. And then in addition, you have these more specialist phones with the photo buttons, for example, in this case the Photophone 100. And then overall, beyond what you see here, we also have a range of phones by both manufacturers, Gmark, who are these two, and Amplicoms over here, that actually have answer machines built in and some other features as well. In any event, hopefully this gives you a bit of clarity with regards to the range of corded phones that we do. However, we do have a great team of experts available on the end of a telephone line. You can call them during the working week, 9 to 5 on 0800 032 1301, or you can email us out of hours in the evening over the weekends to customerservices@hearingdirect.com, and we usually respond within 24 hours if we are able. As I said, do call us. It's not too complicated once you understand some of the differences, but we're very happy to explain those differences to you and guide you through what might be the ideal phone for you or for someone that you care for.